entrepreneur, this is Mark Newsom, Mr. Marketing. Welcome to this special presentation entitled How Not to Be a Victim When It Comes to Properly Choosing and Selecting Your Chosen Niche. Introducing a powerful marketing lesson you can learn, ladies and gentlemen, simply by studying the Facebook phenomenon. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever noticed how easy it is to get confused whenever you view a situation from what some people refer to as the 30,000 feet perspective instead of the laser focused one you and I need? Basically, what we're talking about here is how and why you gotta properly choose your niche. That's step one before you get started. Otherwise, you're simply going to crash and burn or spin your wheels. Now, having said that, this video is going to focus on a major marketing lesson you and I can learn simply by studying Facebook's long-term approach to properly selecting a niche and the marketing strategy that goes along with it. In fact, believe it or not, the number one mistake far too many newbie entrepreneurs make when it comes to properly focusing your marketing efforts are you try to go too wide in the beginning instead of doing the exact opposite. You got to be narrow, focused in the beginning, and you go wide later. Now, speaking of Facebook and the great one, Mark Zuckerberg, a lot of people seem to forget that way back when Mark Zuckerberg actually first released the Facebook platform, ladies and gentlemen, Facebook was only available to the student body at Harvard. A lot of people forget that. Now, you may say, yeah, so why is that important? Well, here's why. Let's take a look at the prestigious Harvard. Ladies and gentlemen, do you realize that every year about 35,000 of the high school hopefuls apply for admission to this prestigious institution? That's the good news. Here's the not so good news. Only about 2,100 or so, or somewhere between 6 and 10%, are actually accepted each year. So in other words, you see how focused and narrow and exclusive that is? They're not looking for everybody. Everybody who applies to Harvard is not going to be admitted. That's just reality. But here's the thing, and here's why that's important. Facebook, after it got a little traction, they gradually made it available first to other exclusive Ivy League school student bodies. Built a little more traction, had a few more growing pains. Then it was gradually introduced nationwide to other college student bodies. And then ultimately, you and I, the world, was allowed to join Facebook. But the point is, in the beginning, Mark Zuckerberg didn't start out to let everybody be a part of Facebook. It was narrowly focused. So here's the marketing lesson you and I can take from that in terms of how and why you need to focus specifically on a niche or a sub-niche. First of all, is so that you can gain some traction, and more importantly, you can build some credibility. Let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about when I say a niche or a sub-niche. Let's suppose you have a offline pet store. You sell pet supplies and pet foods and pet grooming and all of that. And you sell, for specific type of dogs like poodles and German shepherds and pit bulls and terriers and all these other type of dogs. But you have a specific diet regimen, a series of books and tapes and special training workshops on Alaskan Siberian Huskies. Now you see how that's like a super focused niche within another niche? Now let's say if you're a real estate agent or a real estate broker, you might decide to only go after and represent first-time home buyers who are looking to buy a house in the $1 million up range. Or your specialty might be you show other brokers how to get listings in the $1 million plus homes and up. Or you might focus on showing real estate investors how to buy short sales from banks that properties are worth $1 million and up or $10 million or up. The point is, you got to be focused, entrepreneur. You don't see, here's what a lot of people do. They say, oh, well, my product and service is for everybody. Good luck. That's not going to cut it. You got to have a specialty. Now, once you get that specialty and your target market zeroed in, then entrepreneur, that's when you go wide. Now, let me give you a classic example of a company you may or may not have heard of, but these people have got their niche down cold. There's a gentleman that advertises on the radio. I haven't noticed if he actually advertises on television. His law firm may, but he calls himself the DWI guy. Now, does that title not give you the essence of what his law firm is about? Those are the only cases, by the way, they accept. So his positioning is, if you get into a problem and you have a DWI case, or God forbid a loved one or anyone, he wants you to think of him and his law firm, because that's all they do. He's a DWI specialist. So the point is, for you and I, entrepreneur, you got to get clear in the beginning. You got to go narrow and deep. Now, after you do that, then you go wide. So having said that, I hope this helped you, entrepreneur. Because for those of you who want to discover how you're going to add an additional 25% more gross profit to your bottom line in the next 90 days or less, and you want to do it without having to add new customers or clients, then what you need to do is grab that free 9-page special report, study it, apply it, and if you need to know where to get it, simply go to youcanmarketonlinenow.com/sales. This is Mark Newsom, Mr. Marketing. We'll see you again next time on the Marketing Minute.